All right, welcome back, Big Rock fans, to the Sunbrella Dockside Studio. Tommy Bennett with you, joined by Curtis Strange. We're going to take a look at the 63rd Annual Big Rock Tournament. Curtis, record participation, 270 boats. Let's just start with that because I think that is the story of the day right now.
Well, it certainly has to all the people out who've been all day long. It broke our record by 50 boats. Record was some years ago at 220. We had 205 last year during COVID, which was a home run. But good golly, where did they come from, Tommy? 270 boats.
You know, we did have this conversation. Where did they come from? I think there are a couple of factors.
Yeah.
Number one is, you do things right for 62 years, and maybe it's just, it's just time people really have discovered it and say, I really want to be there. The purse was big last year, and the guys that fish on the circuit kind of know if I show up, the purse is going to be that much bigger. I think that obviously has something to do with it.
Well, quality fishing tournament. Everything done here is beyond over the top. Crystal Hesmer, our tournament director, from the board to all the volunteers to all the people here just watching, they all get it. They all understand that we do everything in our power to put on the best tournament. We can't do anything about catching fish, but we can put on the best show we can possibly do that, and I think we do just that.
And I do think, let's toot our own horn for a little bit. Yeah. The guys who fish here, when they leave, they say, I have never been treated this well. I've never had as much fun. It's great to be here in Morehead City. And
best advertisement there is, word of mouth.
You got it. Now look, part of it. Michael was here last year. I think that brought some awareness, maybe to a different group. People that might not be fishing fans or offshore fishing fans. They see Michael Jordan come in and weigh in a fish. With the use and the power of social media now, that's got to have an impact, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Big Rock TV, the radio, listen to Randy Ramsey all day long. Just to give you a good example, Follow and Seas, who weighed a fish earlier today at 1:30, they've only had their boat for a week, but they chose to make the trek up here from Palm Beach to fish the Big Rock. That speaks volumes because it takes, as you know, a good month to work out all the snafus of a new boat. They said we're going to fish the Big Rock, and they came and did it and weighed a big fish.
And probably told the guy that's doing the final outfitting is, I got to have this boat ready by a certain day because I'm leaving to go to Morehead City to win my share of the get that purse in here, Curtis.
4.6.
Yeah.
Well, it just speaks volumes to everything that we're trying to do, and in the end, with the support of all these boats, captains, mates, owners, we're able to contribute more to the charitable organizations that we do each year. So it's all good.
And of course, you can't do this without sponsors.
Yeah.
Jarrett Bay has been our major sponsor now for quite some time, and we certainly want to thank them. They do so much more than just write us a check. They let us use Randy on the radio. The boat yard is right there, and if you need anything, they'll just break their backs to get you back in shape. They'll haul you, fix you, and get you back out as quickly as possible. And just looking at some of our longtime big sponsors, certainly First Citizens Bank, been with us for quite some time. Linda Reich, who sends me a postcard about 3 times a month with the Big Rock logo on it. Yeah. That's the kind of advertising that it just gets around. Parker Auto Group, the Parker family, Dick Parker, the patriarch of the family, one of the founding members of the Fabulous Fishermen's Club, and their relationship with the tournament is it's so important on many, many levels. You cannot have a fishing tournament without a beverage sponsor, Curtis. That liquid courage comes in handy sometimes. Michelob and Michelob Ultra this year, we're delighted to have them, and we did a segment just a few minutes ago about Big Rock, Big Hero. And Salt Life has participated in that, and we certainly are thankful for them. Curtis, let's take a look at, let's delve into some of the levels. You can enter multiple levels of the tournament. Some build on the previous ones. Obviously, you have to enter level 1 before you can enter level 2. You have to enter, level 2 before you can enter level 3. We just saw the Following Seas competing in the Fabulous Fisherman's level. Tell us about that 500-pound category.
Something we started 6, 7, 8 years ago. We wanted to add something to the tournament to give another way to win some big money, thinking that everybody would enjoy that. So if you enter that category, it is everybody in that category is winner take all. First big fish dead on the dock over 500 pounds. This year it is worth over $828,000. Let me repeat. It's worth over $828,000. If the boat today that weighed a fish, it would have been 501. We would have given him a check for over $800,000 on the spot. So that's noteworthy, of course. Then we have winner big dolphin winner take all. That's another category that you can get in.
Yeah, $529,000, Curtis.
Repeat, $529,000 winner take all for a big mahi.
Yeah. Now let's talk about how you could do that. You do not need a 65-foot Viking to compete in the Big Rock tournament and compete for the winner-take-all dolphin.
Don't think I didn't think about leaving you this week and go out there and fish for that.
I thought about it too. I told Crystal, our tournament director, I said, look, if we're sitting on 209 or 220 boats and you need one more boat to set a tournament record, I said, I'm going to write you a check for $2,500 first of all, and I would probably have written another $2,500 check.
Yes, sir.
And borrowed some tackle from somebody to try to go catch a dolphin. I really want to emphasize this because you do not need a 65-foot sport fisherman to compete at the very highest level here. The perfect example is last year the winner of the tournament was on a contender, a 32-foot contender with 2 outboard motors. He spanked the fleet, beat them at their own game, fishing out of a center console boat.
Well,
Curtis.
It certainly makes things more comfortable if you're in Michael Jordan's 80-foot Viking. But let's just kind of go through some of the things. There's advantages.
$529,000 would make me a little more comfortable if I wanted to.
Well, you might buy a bigger than a 32-footer.
Might do that.
But, you can hook a fish. Can we fight the fish with outboards? Yes, I think you can fight the fish. I think you can chase the fish easier with outboards. But can you get him to the boat without accident? Can you get him in the boat? Which was huge last year for the outboard. They got him in the boat. I think he overhung the gunnels all the way in. There's disadvantages, but there's also not advantages, but there's no way in the world, there's no way that you can't catch a big marlin and boat him and get him in if you know what you're doing.
Yeah. But back to this dolphin thing and being able to compete. It would cost $5,000. Now that is not an insignificant sum of money. That's still that's a nice check to have to write. But you get 3 of your buddies together, 5 of your buddies together.
Yeah.
You throw in $1,000 a piece, and you could be out there fishing with the guy on a 90-foot Jarrett Bay. Trying to catch your share of a $529,000 first prize. So. Anyway, don't think that you got to have your 65 Viking to be here. You can fish in this tournament, and you can compete and have every bit as good a chance to win a dolphin prize, or as we saw last year, you can win the whole thing. You just never can tell what might happen. Curtis, release. We hear it all the time. The fishing was really pretty good today.
Early on.
It took about 20 minutes. Fishing starts at 9 o'clock. It took about 20 minutes. And after that, it seems like it has been very, very steady. Let's just take a look at the Big Rock app and see about that leaderboard real quick. And you'll just have to forgive me while I do it real quick.
Well, while he does that, it's 400 points to release a blue marlin. It's 125 to release a spear, white, or sailfish. Significant to release the blue marlin.
Yeah,
big
absolutely.
advantage. We had my next door neighbor, sorry to interrupt, but not my next door neighbor, Lee McClam, caught 3 blue marlin the last day last year. Now, he didn't finish in the weekly division release, but he won the daily, which was worth about $45,000.
And look, with 270 boats, Curtis, that prize this year for a daily release winner is $66,000 and some change.
Sir. Yeah.
So, it can happen. Lightning can strike in a positive way. At any point in time. Let's take a look at our leaderboard, though, right now on the handy Big Rock app. And while we're talking about social media platforms, Guys, you're watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, on the bigrock.com. If you're there and you can like us and share us and subscribe to our channels, it just helps us get the message out about the Big Rock Tournament. And ultimately, remember, this is all for charity. We have given away almost a little over $5 million in the last 10 years alone. And your support by going to the bigrockstore.com and buying a shirt like the one I have on. Today is Flag Day, and it's anything, the apparel that's has a flag on it today at the Big Rock store.
I apparently missed that memo.
So well, you did miss the pre-production meeting, Curtis, but that's okay. The point of it, we're here to have a good time too. But anyway, let's look at the leaderboard here. We get on sidetracked because it's so much fun. The outlier, 62-foot Spencer, has caught 2 blue marlins and I believe a sailfish today. Let's see on the app exactly what he did. A sailfish has scored 925 points. Unofficially, he is going to win $66,583 today. The Starflight, the Jarrett Bay factory boat, has had a good day, along with the Bankwalker and the Marsh Madness, all with a blue marlin and either a sailfish or white marlin release tie there with 525 points. Fishing's been very steady today.
Been steady, and let's not forget they win daily or finish second in the daily, but they all got a leg up for the weekly release as well. So this is a cumulative over 4 out of 6 days, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal, especially if you have a chance in this tournament. Remember, until 10 minutes to go, 5 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, if you hook up to the biggest fish of the week, you win the tournament and get him in. So that compounded with the release could be a huge week.
Right now, we've got 3 boats hooked up. Fishing, the rules state you fish from 9 to 3 every day. The scales will stay open in the event a blue marlin is boated and needs to come to the scales later. Right now, the Marlin Fever has been hooked up since 10:30 this morning. You got a little insight on that maybe for us?
Well, I do. We don't know for sure, but we think he's on a dink bait, which means he's on a small rod and reel, and if that's the case, he's going to be out there for a while. We don't know for sure, but it doesn't mean he can't still catch a 501-pound fish and maybe win the big check today.
Absolutely.
You just don't know.
Absolutely. The Sarcastic hooked up right before lines out today. They've been hooked up for a few minutes now, and the Slow Your Roll is also hooked up, and we'll have more about that, of course, in our continuing coverage once the boats start arriving for game fish weigh-ins today. We did have, as Curtis mentioned, the following seas weigh in a 448-pound blue marlin. Good for the lead right now.
Good for the lead, and you never know. You never know.
Not quite the 500-pound fish, and you don't know, which is the next topic that we want to cover is, you're sitting here, it's Monday, it's day 1, weather's pretty good, fishing's been good. What do you do now? Let's go inside the mind of the captain and crew, or the minds of the captain and crew. What do you do? Tell us about that conversation.
Well, I had a nice chat with the captain after they weighed the fish, and I said, what do you do now? He says, we go back to work. They're from Palm Beach. Like I said, they just have the boat for a week. They came up here to fish the tournament. We go back to work, and you say, well, you've already weighed a fish. Well, remember, there's bigger fish out there, and they might not win a dime. They might win it all with this fish, but they don't know. So they go back and try to catch a bigger fish and try to catch the biggest fish of the week. It's as simple as that. And the tournament is not over. I don't care how big a fish you catch. The tournament is not over till line's out of the water Saturday afternoon.
Right. Now, we do need to add in this extra layer of the 500-pound fish that hasn't been caught yet. So my guess is the following season is going to go back to the dock. They're going to get to work. They're going to rig up, and they're probably going to go tomorrow.
Not probably. Wait a minute. Stop right there. Yeah. Any boat that is entered in the big fish 500 category will fish out until it's not caught.
Until the prize is won.
So the prize is won. They will fish the first 4 days, 4 out of 6 days until the prize is won, and it might not be won, but they will all be after that big prize.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's going to about cover it for the situation right now here. It is day 1. We're looking for that day when the fireworks are going to go off. There's going to be.
You never know.
You typically think it's going to be Monday, Curtis. It hasn't happened today. We do have still some boats hooked up. We won't know until it actually happens. But my guess is if it doesn't happen today, then like you say, we're going to wait until the fireworks go off, and it's going to happen. There's going to be a lot that's going to happen, and it's going to go off. It's going to go off big. It's
fishing. It can happen anytime.
Well, Curtis, we'll be you'll be with me all week. Yep. Two of us will be here, working the scales, working here at Big Rock Landing, bringing you all the action, the very best that we can, with some great insight from folks, Curtis and others who will join us throughout the week, and we'll be here with you, bringing it to you live right here at Big Rock Landing. Stay with us.